Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Topher Drives, where we have quite the treat for you this morning. Well, actually, two treats. Barb has returned. Show him the jacket. Oh yeah, Mustang Cobra. And here's the other treat. The car that we are going to be, I suppose, day tripping today, because we're going to be out and back all in the same day. But this is the 2024 Ford Mustang Dark Horse with the Tremec 6-speed manual transmission. The only S650 Mustang we have not yet road tripped. Emily and I road tripped an EcoBoost Mustang back almost a year ago to Lollapalooza. That was great. It got like 35 miles to the gallon. I solo road tripped a Mustang GT down to Louisville, Kentucky just a couple of weeks ago with the 10-speed automatic. That got, I think, 24 mpg. So now we get to see what the big boy does, the top trim Mustang Dark Horse. We are headed out to Gingerman Raceway today. It's about a 150-mile drive one way, so we'll be doing 300 miles round trip in this hardcore Mustang Dark Horse. I thought the Mustang Cobra jacket was appropriate because this is kind of equivalent to what a Cobra would be now if it still existed, because the Cobra was the top trim back in the day. I saw into the future when I bought you this jacket. This is absolutely stunning. It's finished in blue Ember. This is the color we had on the 10-speed car, geez, almost 2 years ago now. And this is still a 2024 because Ford still has cars that are almost 2 years old in their press fleet. This thing has 13,000 miles on it, which is crazy for a press car. I'm sure it's seen some things, but we'll quickly walk you around this. We'll give you a tour of the Dark Horse for probably, I think, the third time on Topher Drives, and then we'll jump in and we'll do our normal thing. We'll do a little bit of a day trip, kind of like we did in the Corvette, I suppose. But like I said, it's blue Ember. It's got an indigo interior. The Dark Horse still has the Gen 4 Coyote 5-liter naturally aspirated V8. Power is bumped a bit in this over just the regular GT. This makes 500 horsepower and 418 pound-feet of torque. That is achieved by GT500 connecting rods, better camshafts, and a different tune on this engine. So couple little things, but I mean, for the most part, it's the same engine that you get in the GT, which kind of makes me wonder why it's about $15,000 more expensive. I mean, there are things. You've got a unique 6-speed manual transmission in this. You don't get the crappy Getrag MT82. You get the proper Tremec 6-speed. You get different suspension tuning, different wheels, Brembo brakes. This one has the performance pack, so we have this special spoiler with the gurney flap. The racer Dan Gurney, back in the day, he created this little extra bit on the back of the spoiler.
For why?
For more downforce.
Oh, okay.
Which we'll need today.
Sure.
So this little bit here, it's called the gurney flap, and it's appropriate because Dan Gurney used to race Mustangs. So cool to see that.
Also create gurneys?
I don't know what that
like
is.
In the hospital, gurneys. Yeah.
Oh,
Stretchers, gurneys?
maybe. Look it up. Maybe he was a man of many trades.
Perhaps.
So, but we also have, with this track pack, these very aggressive Pirelli P0 Trofeo RS tires. This is basically a slick with like just enough tread to make it street legal. They're pretty hard, but on a day like today, they should have plenty of grip. It's about 65 degrees out, and you can be relieved of your jacket if you like, if you're hot. I just wanted it for the bit, for the beginning of the video. But we also have this extended little front chin spoiler, which has already been beat up over the last 13,000 miles by many journalists, but I've kind of been like nervous to drive this thing this week because it's so low to the ground. I mean, realistically, what is that? It's like 3-4 inches off the ground. So you have to be really careful pulling this into driveways, into parking lots. Make sure you watch out for parking blocks and things like that. And the Dark Horse overall, it's the most hardcore Mustang. So it's not always the most fun to daily drive. You kind of feel like you're lugging this thing around. But what I will say is this is, for one, it's the only really true muscle car left. The Camaro's dead, the Challenger's dead, the Charger's dead. But I feel like this always did the muscle car recipe the best. It's rumbly, it's loud, all the controls are heavy, and it really gives you that proper connected muscle car feel still in the year 2025, even though this is a 2024 model, but the 25s are pretty much the same. So let's quickly poke around this. We'll give you some road trip essentials, or we'll talk about road trip essentials. We'll start with the trunk. This car is quite dusty, so we've been driving it all week. And the reason this is all messed up is because I've wedged my helmet where the spare tire would go if you had a spare tire, but we don't have one.
Right.
So just kind of rest that there. I don't really want my helmet rolling around. And well, we don't really have too much with us today. We've got my camera bag. We've got our little Yeti full of snacks and our lunch for when we're at the track. But you guys have seen Mustang trunks in the past. I mean, like I said, this is the third one we've road tripped now, so they get the job done, plenty of room. And then you also have the back seat, which usually I just use as a shelf in a scenario like this. But for today, we have just my downshift hoodie. Shout out downshift. And I guess that's it. We don't have anything else back there, but a nice usable space for you to store some extra stuff that doesn't fit in the trunk. Do these seats go down? I feel like maybe they do. I don't know. I feel like they oh yeah, they totally go down. Okay, so the seats go down as well. I see the little pull tab right there. So some extra room to pass through if you need to haul anything big with you. And this is a manual equipped car, so we don't have remote start, which means we don't have remote rev. So I guess we should just get in it.
Do you want me to start it so you can...
And fire it up. Oh, sure. It's in neutral, so.
Okay, I'm just gonna start it.
You good? You're
Right
gonna,
now?
yeah, just sit forward, foot on brake and foot on clutch all the way down.
And then just...
But it's in neutral. Here, let me make sure it's in neutral. Yep. So you don't even have to touch the stick. Once you start it, you can take both feet off.
Okay. Ready?
Yep, ready. Sounds good. Don't rev it, there's a guy walking up. Oh. Hello. I was just taking a picture of the car we're leaving.
Okay, just so you know, everything past that major sign is off the limits. This is private property.
I got you, I'm sorry.
So police have already been called, but
Okay.
I didn't do that because one of the other employees did that. So.
Oh, well, we're out of here. So.
Okay.
Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for making your job harder.
It's all right.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Well, we have lost this intro spot, I suppose, but hey, we went out with a bang, saved the best for last with the best Mustang. So let's get out of here before we have any problems. Test the turning circle, which actually is really not that great, but we'll avoid bumping the front lip on that curve there. Let's talk about kind of interior bits and places to put things as we're on the road right now. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned about is I've never driven a manual transmission equipped S650 before today, so I've never thought about like moving my hand back to shift where the cup holders are. The only good thing is that it's slightly offset, so the cups actually sit a little bit to the right, so when you go for a gear, your elbow isn't immediately banging into the cups, which I do like, but they're a little bit in the way. I mean, this whole Mustang center console, I've never really been the biggest fan of. I feel like they could do a better job like trimming it, designing it all together. So maybe in a future rendition of the car, we'll see some kind of a better design. We've only been getting 12 mpg this week, so the tank is showing only 141 miles of range, but that will go up as we get on the highway because the Dark Horse is actually rated at 22 miles to the gallon, so only a few mpg lower than the regular GT, which I don't think is too bad. I didn't believe you when you told me that. And I was like, wow, that's actually higher than I thought it would be. Right, is my phone on CarPlay? I think it is. All right, let's get this nav started. Just using Apple for today. Braking, merging onto the highway.
Really good.
It's always good. Pretty easy to shift this thing fast, and it does even have a no lift shift function, which we'll try out once we're on the track, and obviously we'll give you guys some track footage once we get there as well. We've done a couple of these track road trips. We did one with the WRX TS with my buddy Sean. I did one solo with the BMW X6M competition, What else? Oh, I did one with the BMW M4 CSL, and I'm probably forgetting some that we've done in there as well. But what I love about these road trips is they really test what a car like this should be able to do, because the Mustang Dark Horse should be able to be a good daily driver for you, but if you're buying this trim level, you're probably interested in taking it to the track some. So in today's video, we are being quite realistic, driving it to the track, doing a track day, and then driving it home. It should be able to do all of that in comfort and practicality. So we'll see how it does. I mean, all the cars that we've taken in the past have done their job quite well, and I don't suspect this Mustang Dark Horse will be any different. But we've got 3/4 of a tank. We should make it just fine, even though it says we're not going to. The MPG should go up a bit, and I'm actually going to reset one of these trips so we can kind of track our fuel economy here. See what we get on the highway. Alright, so that is now reset. We'll leave that up and see if we can achieve our 22 MPG highway rating. Otherwise, how you feeling on the interior?
Good.
I love these Recaros.
They're so comfortable. So far.
Yeah. Well, they're like very plush. Like they're very like big and squishy, you know. 6th gear in here is basically an overdrive. If we drop down to 5th, you can see we're revved 4,000 RPM right into 6th and down to 2,500. So very, very much a cruiser gear in this car allows us to have that pretty decent MPG rating. But I'll tell you what, this car is so much easier to love with the 6-speed versus the 10-speed. And you have that bit of uniqueness, because if you opt for the 10-speed, which is now a no-cost option in 2025, it's the same transmission that you get in the GT, whereas this 6-speed manual is unique. So it kind of helps justify the price of the Dark Horse just that much more. I think the fact that Ford is the only muscle car left in the segment, they kind of just have the God complex right now, and they're just charging whatever they want for this car, because a similarly spec'd Mustang Mach 1 would have been quite a bit less than this car a few years ago when that was the newest, hottest Mustang. That wasn't the GT500. So there's just some things in here that I don't super love for the price tag on this car, which we actually didn't even discuss exact pricing. So for 2025, this car as spec'd with all of its options that we'll put in the description for you is about $82,000. So it's quite pricey, and for that, I mean, some of this just like scratchy material in here that looks 3D printed, and the steering wheel, I always say it kind of feels like it's wetsuit material right here. It's not like true suede or anything. So I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the trimmings in this interior. Love the Recaro seats, but that's kind of where it stops for me here. Otherwise though, the layout is fine. You know, everything works okay. You've got enough physical buttons, physical volume knob. We have a 12-speaker B&O in here, which we'll be testing out for you. And this touchscreen is actually running on like an older software. So the GT that you saw us take to Louisville, that had the updated infotainment with the new gauge clusters, and it just ran quite a bit faster. And this one does still lag a little bit, so this wouldn't apply to if you bought a new Mustang. No, this one just needs an update. Elbow comfiness is good on the left, terrible on the right. We'll talk a bit more about that once we've sat in this car for longer than 3 minutes and 22 seconds. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to add before we just start eating up miles in this thing? Think there's any people that actually think your name is Barb at this point?
Oh, 1,000%. It's not Barb.
Didn't your grandma text you and ask why I was calling you Barb? Oh, goodness. All right, let's get our cruise control set. Left side of the steering wheel there. Turn this down to 79. And we do actually have adaptive cruise in this Mustang. All physical buttons to set your distance. Love to see that. And we have a lane keeping system, which is what Ford calls it, of course. So that'll just kind of vibrate the steering wheel if I go out of the lane. Usually just leave that off, but I do like having the adaptive cruise. You can only accelerate so much with this tall 6th gear, but it does the thing. I've got my star button set to turn on the track exhaust. We'll show you that once we're on the track. Not going to do us much good on the highway. It's just going to drone along. But we do actually have a quiet setting, which I think we'll use as we're cruising here, which does actually make it noticeably quieter. There's normal. Wait till we're past the semi. So here's normal, and there's quiet. You can definitely tell the difference. All right, let's leave that in quiet. So we've got as little NVH as possible. We've already got to listen to the tires in this thing. So, all right, well, that's it for real. We're going to settle into this car, and we'll give you a report once we've sat in this for a little bit longer. We're going to stop and get fuel, and then we'll go to Gingerman. Welcome back to Rick and Barb on the run from the law. No, not actually, though I am living out my Gone in 60 Seconds dreams with this dark horse playing the part of Eleanor. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
You seen either Gone in 60 Seconds? No? Okay. Well, the main car in the movie is a Mustang, and in both of them, there's a really good police chase scene with the Mustang at the end, so I'm dreaming of that. Anyway, okay, let's actually talk about what it's been like to sit in this. Amazingly, it's doing exactly its EPA highway rating of 22 miles per gallon. Check that out. And we've been averaging 76 miles per hour, so a little bit over, obviously, what the EPA tests at. We've got aero on our side. It's quite slippery, but we don't have eco tires or anything like that. So the tires are quite sticky. They're definitely not helping the cause as far as fuel economy goes. But, I mean, like I say with every Mustang, the interior is quite cozy, minus right elbow, but if you gloss over that, everything else is great. Driver's compartment, nice, big, and open. Seating position, it's a little high in this car, but for a road trip, I don't really mind that too much. On the track, we'll have to see how it fares. But we talked about earlier, before we went away for a second, how cozy these Recaro seats are. And even like as far as NVH, like the exhaust doesn't drone when it's in quiet mode. And this B&O 12-speaker sound system does the trick as far as drowning out everything else that there is. So, how you doing over there?
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Sterling Marlin is very cozy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We're switching highways here. We've got 43 minutes to go. I've done just about 100 miles, hour and 20 minutes, or a little bit longer because I reset this once we got on the highway. So more like an hour and a half in the car here. And the last little bit of the drive is on 55 mile an hour roads, so we'll be revved a little bit lower, and we'll be probably even more efficient, but we're going to fill the tank. We have, as suspected, we've only used a quarter of a tank-ish on this first 103 miles, so this car at full capacity, getting its full highway MPG, should be able to do about 350 miles on the highway. So, I mean, that's not great, but it's something. It would get us from Detroit to Chicago, which is all I really ever like to see. So, Detroit to Chicago and then some. Play some thunder, some thunderous, bassy V8 noises. We always love that. That's right, V8 motor. Who's a country singer with like a very deep?
Josh Turner. He's the one.
Would you say the car kind of sounds like him?
You know?
I'm glad you said that. Yes, I agree. I love merging in cars that just have torque. Just rev to like 3,000 RPM and it just goes. So this is Emily's first time at the track.
Yes.
We don't know yet if she's going to do a ride along, but we're meeting up with the Topher, obviously. My buddy Matthew, who is helping drive the Topher Civic Type R out, so the Topher will have his Camaro and the Civic Type R. And then my buddy Sean and his dad are coming out with the Cayman GT4 and the Boxster RS60 Spider. I think nappability on these seats would be S tier. I think you could pull a crazy nap in one of these seats.
I'm not quite tired enough for a nap.
Just
but
wait.
I think that if you just
Oh,
yeah.
there it is.
Oh yeah. I should have brought my pillow.
You should have. On the way home, you're gonna want it. You'll
I always
be
do that.
sleepy. It reminds me of when we took the AMG GT to Chicago, and you're like, it's a Benz, it'll be cozy. And it had like those super aggressive carbon seats, and you were like, should have brought my pillow. I think once we get off the highway, I would like to eat something because I feel like I'm going to perish.
Like from our snack pile?
Yeah, just like perhaps a banana.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Banana and a protein bar. Maybe. You know they sell Mustangs in Great Britain now. Yeah.
American muscle.
They're right-hand drive. You can go to England and you can get a right-hand drive Mustang. I don't know if they still sell the V8 over there, but they definitely sell the EcoBoost. They sold the V8 there for a minute, but I think they stopped because of the European emissions regulations. Anyway, though, we're happy in this car. I mean, this has Magna-Ride suspension, so when you're in normal mode, it soaks everything up very well. We saw this with the GT. Did the EcoBoost have Mag-Ride? I don't remember if it did or not, but the GT did a great job on the 800-mile round trip we just took that on. I love a car that you can do this sort of thing in and it doesn't beat the crap out of you. It doesn't feel like you're falling down a flight of stairs. Like, we just did an hour and 20 minutes on the highway and we're not fatigued. And in some cars that you take to the track, that would not be the case. I've got the auto rev matching on, but it's very easy to toggle off if you're not an enthusiast of auto rev matching. Just go into track apps, you can turn that off. It's actually pretty easy to rev match yourself. And I do have a morning commute video on this car that'll probably be up before this. And then I've got another video on the 10-speed Dark Horse, which is actually the most viewed video on the entire channel. But kind of some more like street sport driving impressions. You guys can go check that video out. I'll link it in the description. But it's pretty easy to drive this car like normally. The 6-speed, it's got a lot of weight to it. Like I said, all the controls in here, quite heavy, clutch pedal, shifter, steering, adds to the muscle car effect, but you don't really... Forgot I turned auto rev match off. I mean, not hard to do it yourself. But you can drive this car smoothly. You don't have to baby it. You can manhandle it a little bit. I think it's time for a banana.
All right, then.
And in Topher Drive's tradition, well, actually, I won't have you feed me the banana. I feel like that would be awkward. But you can at least hand it to me. Where are the bananas?
Controversial banana opinions. This has been discussed many of times at work. What is the proper color in which to eat a banana at?
I think, so my opinion on this is a little bit controversial because I like to eat them when they're still a little green and chalky. Yeah.
I like them when they're just a little bit yellower than this.
Yeah. Well, they taste completely different, like depending on when you eat them. So I'll eat them like, I mean, I'm not really that picky. I'll eat them either way.
Here you go.
Thank you. I'm going to let this Lexus GX go by me. And I'm going to get into the right lane. Oh God, will you grab 6 for me in a second?
Yep.
Right now, into 6th. Thank you so much. No, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good. Ooh, you want a Sebring?
No.
Okay. Meant to also mention, this does tramline quite a bit, and that's to be expected with a 305 section front tire. And these hot Mustangs, they always kind of tramline a bit. If you don't know what tramlining means, it means it follows the lines or the grooves of the road. It's not that dramatic, but it gets a little irritating after a while on the highway. Also got a number of different gauges. You can see your aux gauges on here, which will probably run this screen on the track, but what I'm talking about is the cluster theme, which you can match to your drive mode. You can go through all of these as well and set them however you want them. Track, calm, whatever. But the only one I care about is the Fox body gauge cluster, which is usually always what I run in this car, which is why I'm trying to run the normal one, because you guys have already seen like so many miles of the Fox body gauge cluster. And then the cars with the newer updated system have the 99 to 01 Cobra cluster and the 67 to 69 Mustang fastback or whatever gauge cluster, which I think is really cool. There's one thing Ford does right, it's adding tasteful heritage to these cars. They never go over the top like some companies do. I think Mini is kind of guilty of that. But everything Ford does is it's usually very tasteful. Get some ASMR. Very sticky. All right. Fill this guy up. We're gonna use the restroom. Every time I go on this trip, I have to pee. When Sean and I took the WRX, I like couldn't get out of the car. I had to pee so bad.
Oh gosh.
Not that bad today, but I'm like getting to that point. You want to go first? I'll fill up the car while you pee, and then we'll swap. Okay. Actually, worth mentioning, quite easy to get in and out of, because you don't have a crazy like leg bolster in here, so you don't have to step out of it as hard, and the Mustang doesn't sit like terribly close to the ground, so it's pretty tired leg, bad back friendly. Putting in some 93. Gorgeous day today. A couple of clouds because we're on the west side of the state. Always have that coming off the lake, but my goodness, yeah, this looks proper. You can see kind of this aggressive camber here on the front. Since our walk around was cut a little bit short, we didn't talk about tire sizing. So in the front we have a 305/30 ZR19. Again, this is a Trofeo RS, very, very aggressive tire. Slightly staggered on the back, we have a 315 section, so it's not really too crazy. 315/30 ZR19, both 19-inch wheels, don't have a 20 on the back or anything crazy like that. This is all PPF'd right here, and you can see for good reason. There's lots of little rock chips. So we'll need that for the track today, of course, to preserve our blue Ember paint job. This has got the graphics pack as well, so matte black, got the stickers on the hood and everything, black roof. 9.5 gallons, all right. So it must have had just under half a tank here. Ford has the easy fuel system, so no fuel cap. This is so funny, 87 plus. Cannot imagine sticking 87 in a dark horse, but I suppose you could if you needed to. All right, let's get this out of the way of the pump. I'll wait for Emily to come out. Silly parking brake off. Turning circle up. I think we got it here. Just never want to pull up too close, bump the front of the car. I would like to have a front camera on this. That's the only thing I would say, is that I do wish there was a front camera so you could see before you're gonna smash the front of the car off. But these parking spots are pretty big. All right. Oh, look at this blue Ember. This is car number 30. Oh. Every dark horse gets a little dash plaque there.
Great.
Let's see which car you have. I don't know what the fate of this car will be. It's a pretty early production. It's a press car from Ford. I don't know if it's a... Well, it doesn't say PP or for pre-production, so somebody might end up with this car someday. Here we are. Welcome to Gingerman Raceway.
Thank you.
Which the owner named after an book called The Ginger Man. It's a book that he really likes. And the guy that owns this track lives here. He's got a little house. Well, I shouldn't say little house, it's a massive house. on the side of the track, it's right there to the left. Yeah.
Sounds like your dream.
Literally my dream. He's got a house with woods behind it and a racetrack in front of it. Are you kidding me? All right, we've swapped Emily for Matthew. We're gonna do a couple laps. Probably let the car do most of the talking, but give you guys a chance to see what the Dark Horse can do a little bit. Have you ever been on Gingerman?
No.
No? It's a really cool track. Let's get some heat into this. All right, yeah, the brakes are feeling good. All right, we're good. We're just gonna send it. Mostly a third gear track, so really only have to shift on the back straight into fourth. Oh yeah, brakes are feeling good. Crazy sharp with these 305 section front tires. And we run out of gear. Can you turn the AC up a little bit?
I can try.
It's in the touchscreen on the bottom. I'm hot, I know the GoPro's hot. All right, what do you think?
It's pretty sweet. I'm actually quite impressed by it.
It's not bad for a Mustang. You wouldn't expect a Mustang to have front end grip like that.
And that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Did you get your video for your podcast or whatever because you're right for car, no.
Winding Road Magazine.
Okay.
I got it.
In magazine?
Well, it's called Winding Road Magazine, but it's a YouTube channel, so it's a video that'll go up on YouTube.
Yeah, because the other guy is Tofu.
Yes, we've convinced Emily to do a couple laps. We're gonna take it nice and easy, but we'll give you guys some final thoughts while we're out there as well on what it's been like to drive this on track all day. It's been a trooper. The Topher filmed it, and I've gone out for a couple of sessions as well. So let's finish this off. Shout out to my buddy Sean that brought the helmet. It's on this side. Yeah. Custom lettering.
Yes, it's excellent.
Emily's never been on a racetrack.
I've never been on a racetrack.
We'll take it nice and easy. All right, Barb, you ready?
No.
This guy's funny. You want to talk to him first?
Yeah.
I kicked Tofu out. It's me again.
Okay.
Nice gentleman.
Yeah, he's fun. So this is called the blend line. When you merge onto the track, it's like merging onto a highway. It's like the merge lane. Been really impressed with the precision of this Mustang today. The first Mustang I've driven on track, and after riding with the Topher, whose video we'll link down below with his track impressions, I mean, this thing is just insanely balanced. The turn-in is super sharp. after doing a couple sessions in here, the brakes are nice and bedded in, so they've got nice bite, no more vibration like we saw in the earlier sessions. And it's really good overall. All right. Tires feel like they've got a good amount of heat in them now. How you feeling over there?
Hot.
Okay, turn the AC up. You want to turn the AC up?
I will.
What?
All that river. Oh, people went off there.
What'd you say? Oh yeah, somebody spun off here. We're gonna give Chris the point by here. Listen to this E46. '97.
Okay. That's more than enough.
Yeah, taking it easy for you.
Thank you. Barb's a little lame, sorry.
What'd you say?
Barb's a little lame, sorry.
No, Barb's not lame.
My hands are sweating.
This is one of those cars where it's kind of fun to just come out and do a lap at like 6/10 like this, you know, just kind of cruise around. You okay?
Yep.
Okay.
This is probably going to be enough for me though.
Okay, you want to be done after this?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll just do this and we'll be done.
So hot. This is so fun for you, and I'm so happy for you that you get to do this.
Yes, I know it's the
I'm
best.
so glad that I got to sit and watch.
You had the best seat in the house. You were up on the tower.
I had the best seat in the house. I just watched the whole time. It was great. This is more than enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm so good. I don't know how like IMSA drivers, F1 drivers,
Yeah.
probably do this really well.
108.
Okay.
There you go. Is that good?
Yep, that is perfect.
All right. We weren't going too crazy that lap, so we don't need to do a cool down, but we'll let it coast a bit, cool the brakes off. There you go. You've been around Gingerman. I mean, the car feels great. It's like,
Okay, I believe you.
well, from over there, you can tell that it's like not all over the place. Like, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
it
no, it's
keeps
solid.
keeps a steady line.
It's definitely solid.
It's not kicking out. Granted, we have everything on, but it's all good. I think this is Sean. He recorded us going by. Yeah. Rick and Barb on the run from the law, practicing for Gone in 60 Seconds.
Should we wave each other?
Yeah, you should. We'll pull up over here and you can give them their helmet back. Alrighty guys, well we're gonna wrap it up here and we'll get back on the road. We'll finish out the day and give you our final thoughts on what it's been like to live with this dark horse over about 300 miles. Another successful track day at Gingerman. The dark horse is still in one piece. There's still an Emily in the passenger seat in there who did actually go for a couple laps. She was a good sport, and obviously you guys know that because you just saw it, but it's now time to start the trek home, the second half of the road trip, the next 150 miles. We're gonna put some fuel in this because we used about 3/4 of a tank on the track today, but it's been good. It's been a good day. The weather's been perfect, and Yeah, couldn't have asked for anything better. So let's jump back in here. Let's go tell the Topher it's time to hit the road.
Yes, it is time to hit the road.
He's given a proper Midwestern goodbye over there. I want to put my cluster. Let's go Fox body for the way home.
Gingerman staff is kicking us out as well.
Yeah.
The truck is
Time to go. Max Exodus.
everyone
Is it time? No. Are you getting in your car though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna chill.
All right. Maybe if I just rev at him.
late. He's not even paying attention.
Do a burnout.
Oh wow, I can do that too.
See ya. I love him. So how was your first ever track day experience?
It was beautiful out. It was a beautiful day. I loved spectating. I was a little nauseous going around the track, but that's okay. We've experienced it. We can check it off.
Check it off the list.
It has been a very long day though, and
Yes.
that is all I'm gonna say about that.
We're hungry.
Cranky. And I deserve a sweet treat.
Yes, you do very much. As promised, we're going to play you all out with a sound system test of this 12-speaker B&O, and then we'll give you our final thoughts here on the Mustang Dark Horse. As we kind of hinted at earlier, I mean, very solid performance here from this 12-speaker B&O, and even from the bass sound system that we had in the yellow GT that we road tripped a few weeks ago, you guys saw that system was pretty decent as well. So I think you're gonna be fine, kind of no matter which way you go with the Mustang sound systems. Ford is usually pretty good even about their bass sound systems, and these B&O systems have just been getting better and better as the years have gone on. Anything to add?
No, it's been really good.
Did you do a little sleep or no?
No,
No?
I just shut my eyes completely.
Okay. That's just about it. We can go ahead and wrap this up. 336 miles down. Of course, some of that was on the track. 5 hours and 43 minutes total driving. Again, some of that was on the track, but we've done about 5 hours on the street in this car, maybe a little bit less. And honestly, the Dark Horse aspect of this car, as it tram lines into the other lane, kind of going against what I was about to say. I was going to say it doesn't really make this unlivable. It's still a very daily drivable experience. And of course, you don't have to have this track pack with the big 305 section front tires and Pirelli Trofeo RS's. Very comfortable Recaro seats, good sound system. The adaptive cruise does a fantastic job. This is one of the only adaptive cruise systems that I've used throughout an entire road trip that hasn't made me annoyed. It's not nervous, it gets out of its own way, and you don't feel like you're impeding traffic with this adaptive cruise. So good job Ford for the calibration of the adaptive cruise. It's gotten 20 miles to the gallon, which is good for what it is, for being a nearly 4,000 pound tank with a big V8 motor. The auto blip system is fantastic. I love touching this blue Ember shift knob. It's almost like iridescent, like Mystic Chrome type thing. Cool little touch for the Dark Horse. Again, it's obviously something you don't get if you opt for the 10-speed automatic. You really kind of start to see more of the value of the Dark Horse once you take it out on track. And the fact that it can get you to the track and back in comfort, it can get 22 miles to the gallon on the highway. You can go out, have a couple hours of fun, drive home, all in the same car. It does the thing. You guys know we've road tripped so many of these Mustangs at this point. You know all of the ins and outs, all of the little foibles, like the squeaky seatbelt on these Recaro seats. There's a little bit of a rattle on the rear deck, but otherwise the interior feels fine. I think if I were to complain about one thing, if I were to suggest an improvement, I suppose I should say, is in the Dark Horse, I would maybe like some more bespoke interior materials for over $80,000. Some of this scratchy plastic is just kind of not acceptable. Top of the dash, maybe, I mean, even this, like, give me some real carbon fiber. This is like cheap 3D printed junk. So I would like to see better materials in the Dark Horse, but otherwise I think everything's here. This is a really, really nice all-around package, and it's been a great day driving this. And Emily rode on track, which I'm really excited that she did that. So, did you have a good day overall?
I did.
All right, I'm glad you
just
did.
tired.
I know you're sleepy. I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be asking you so many questions. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about it. I mean, the Magna Ride does a great job. That's something you can touch on. I honestly feel like the ride in this was better than the ride in that EcoBoost Mustang we took to Chicago. That was kind of a weird, like, wallowy, like, bouncy
It
ride.
was a little bumpy.
Yeah, this is pretty dialed in. Rides cozy when the suspension's in normal. But I think that'll do it for us today. In the Mustang Dark Horse, 3 out of 3 Mustang models road tripped. So if you're trying to choose between the 3, which I don't think anybody is, but maybe if you're between the GT and the Dark Horse, you can take a look at both videos and maybe they will help you decide. But this will be it for the Dark Horse 6-speed manual. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Hope you are still enjoying this road trip content. We have a great time making them. So as long as you keep watching, we will keep road tripping. But that'll do it. Thank you again, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.